Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you to the MS-PEC team for bringing everyone together and to the Minister who spoke so passionately this morning, and I think her personal commitment was really clear. Secondly, a big hello and thank you to all of you, and thank you for a lot of your well wishes while I've been on leave. For those of you who may not know, I gave birth 5 months ago, so this is kind of my first week getting back into the swing of things. So I returned to work full-time on Friday, but this was a great opportunity to come back a little bit earlier and hear about all the fantastic work that's been going on whilst I've been off. And I look forward to working with you all in this critical year ahead. In this room full of experts, I don't need to reiterate the scale of the challenges we face and how the UK can no longer claim to be the leader in the fight against modern slavery. You all know this far more than anyone. And I'm here to talk about how we can reclaim this leadership position for the victims, collectively using the 10-year anniversary of the Modern Slavery Act as a reset moment, and I think this is a real opportunity. In recent months, we have seen the harmful provisions of the Illegal Migration Act repealed, an increase in NRM caseworkers, and some more positive murmurings about survivor engagement from the government. These are all positive steps and momentum that needs to be built upon. However, I want to be clear that we cannot mistake backlogs and getting rid of them, repealing harmful legislation as a step forward. These actions, in my mind, are a return to a baseline, and a weak baseline at that. I was really pleased to hear the Minister outline her action plan and to speak so passionately. I do think that action plans can help us to fix what isn't working. First responder forms, clarifying guidance, and rolling out pilots such as the independent child trafficking guardians are all vital work, and they're being carried out by some of those in the Home Office Modern Slavery Unit. But we absolutely need government departments to step up and support the Minister in her ambitions. If the UK is really going to take ending modern slavery seriously, it must make tackling modern slavery everyone's business. This means moving beyond action plans for one department and launching a cross-government strategy. Without a strategy, there is no direction, ownership, or leadership, and then ending modern slavery is no one's business. If law enforcement leaders cannot point to a strategy or Home Secretary priority, then it's difficult for them to put modern slavery in their control strategies and to direct resources there. This is why I am working on a comprehensive research project assessing how modern slavery policing has evolved over the last 10 years and what's next. The Department for Business and Trade, with its vast influence over the commercial sector, could be a powerful ally in the battle to tackle modern slavery. Yet, without a mandate or a clear direction, there's no sense of urgency for them to act. This is why I have been calling on the Department of Business and Trade to introduce mandatory human rights due diligence before it's too late, and not to implement it as a reactive measure once everyone else has done it. The Ministry of Defence has some incredibly passionate service personnel and civil servants trying to implement initiatives to tackle modern slavery through a human security lens. But they often lack the political will and buy-in to implement critical government programmes. Therefore, I'm working with the Ministry of Defence to spotlight good practice and enhance learnings from other international partners who are doing good things in this space. The Ministry of Housing, Community and Local Government has a critical role to play too, and I'm working with the homeless sector, the Passage and the Local Government Association on some of these challenges. But ultimately, I think it's really important that we move beyond silo action plans and embrace a truly cross-governmental approach. The interconnected nature of modern slavery demands nothing less. It touches upon issues of labour rights, immigration, social services, and international relations. We need a strategy and a plan that reflects this complexity, and I look forward to seeing what the Minister will come up with in this space. We must also ensure that this strategy is informed by the voices of survivors and those with lived experience. Their insights are invaluable in shaping effective interventions and support systems. This is why I've submitted to the Home Office a plan to establish a Survivor Advisory Council. Whilst I'm really pleased to hear the Minister and the Home Office commit more resource and thinking to survivor engagement, I'm aware that thinking about incorporating survivor voices has been a holding line for many years now. Now is the time for action. The establishment of a fully funded Survivor Advisory Council is not just a goal, but it is a necessity. Their lived experience are our most valuable resource in shaping effective policies and interventions. This is why my strategic plan is underpinned by two core themes. Firstly, the inclusion of survivor voices into policy design and improving the knowledge base and understanding of modern slavery. Well, we cannot avoid the fact that the government response to modern slavery has fallen behind. When it comes to the inclusion of survivor voices and the improving knowledge base of modern slavery, I think it's thanks and testament to many of you in this room that there's been huge progress in the last 10 years in these areas. It is these efforts that I want to build on and amplify. I do not want to speak for much longer, as I want to make sure there's an opportunity to hear from as much of you in the room as possible in the next couple of hours. But it's through listening to many of you, through frontline workers and researchers, that we can understand what isn't working and what is working and advocate for the right change. So I urge you, please do approach my office with any challenge and ideas. We're all ears, we want to hear. For example, recently my team have been hearing from several first responder organisations facing similar challenges since the NRM caseworker increase. We are working to collate these reported communication challenges, spot the trends, and identifying the underlying issues so that concerns can be raised effectively and strategically with the Home Office. Earlier, we heard the Minister and Julie speak a lot about people not entering the NRM and refusing to. My team are working on a bigger research project with the Rights Lab and Nottingham University to build a better picture beyond the anecdotal to understand why some more potential victims are refusing to enter the NRM at the moment. Please do reach out to my team if you would like to be part of any of this. We need to be working to fix operational challenges on the ground. At the same time, we need to stay firmly focused on the bigger picture, securing the political will needed to drive forward the UK's anti-slavery efforts. As I return, there's a huge amount of work to be done to continue to deliver against my strategic plan, focusing on prevention, protection and prosecution. And I would like to say thank you for my fantastic team and my Chief of Staff, Camilla, for holding the fort whilst I've been off. I look forward to working with you all in the critical years ahead, and thank you very much for all your dedication and expertise. I will be around now for the rest of the day and back full-time on Friday, so I look forward to hearing from you all. See you.